When did Frauditor say she had breast cancer? Again? 2020. Yep, right here. In remission in 2020. Then why is she saying 2021 here? Please explain why you claim to have had stage 3 inflammatory breast cancer in 2021. Yet, here in March of 2020, you announced on Facebook that you were in remission. Let's recap the timeline. You announced stage 3 inflammatory breast cancer, one of the most aggressive, brutal cancers that exists. 3 weeks later, you pop back up with ta-da, remission. But somewhere in there, you also say you beat stage 4. So according to you, the timeline is stage 3, IBC for 3.5 weeks total. I guess stage 4 for a few days in there somewhere. Then remission, just like that. Totally makes sense. They know your definition of remission, don't they? I bet you haven't told them. But you have a different definition of remission, don't you? I'll tell them. Reaper's definition of remission. Remission occurs when you don't gain the sympathy or charitable donations you initially expected at the time you think up your diagnosis. You can't get any lower than this. This is subhuman. Well, at least I did think so until... Seriously? Actually lying about breast cancer to someone who just received news of a recurrence? Oh, we're going to come back to this. But first, what stage was that again?
And this is speaking from somebody who actually survived stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
What stage again?
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
But you just told this poor woman.
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
So which is it? Most are fully aware which stage cancer they are battling. Here you said stage 3, but here you claim to have the incurable
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
But wait, you claim to be in remission here at stage 3. So explain how you had
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
Remind me again, how many rounds of chemo did you do? Because here you claim over 3 months. But here, February 19th, you stated you had been doing chemotherapy for 4 weeks. So January 4th to March 13th is 9 weeks and 5 days, 2.5 months, not even 3 months, much less over 3 months. So let me say this again. Frauditor Reaper claims she beat an incurable cancer with only 2.5 months of chemotherapy. A fucking miracle. Real quick, let me explain how ridiculous her claim is. On average, chemotherapy lasts about 6 months and can extend up to 2 years with rest periods between cycles. For example, some people with breast cancer may receive 4 cycles of chemotherapy, with each cycle lasting 3 weeks. This means that it would take 3 months or 12 weeks to complete a full course of chemo. However, some people require more cycles. But Frauditor Reaper tells this person who actually does have breast cancer, she only did 2 rounds, which would total 6 weeks. Not only does this not equate to the average chemo received by an early diagnosed breast cancer patient, but she's contradicted her own timeline. We just learned a full course of chemo is 12 weeks and averages about 3 to 6 months. So you're telling me it was
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
Full course of chemo wasn't administered. You beat your words.
Stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
In 8 weeks, 2 months? I can't believe there are some of you who believe this. Even worse, those who know it's bullshit and ignore it. Wild. I received these texts of stating her false breast cancer claims to a woman who, at the time, just found out her cancer came back. Look at Reaper's response. She ignored her entirely, while someone was sharing a cancer diagnosis. Reaper chose to ask another person in the chat who had shown concern if they were in Discord. G even explained her diagnosis further and still got nothing. Reaper didn't acknowledge her again until Reddit was mentioned. Not once did she respond to or show any concern about G's devastating news. Although Reaper showed zero concern, she didn't mind, allowing the woman with real cancer to express her sympathy. Further stating she's glad to have met her. Appalling Reaper would continue the charade, further almost mocking the situation, calling it sad circumstances, knowing she knows nothing about what this woman is going through, then shrugs off the subject, reverting back to Victoria, her obsession at the time. The woman explains her treatment history, having stage 4 breast cancer, and as you can see, it was 6 months of chemotherapy, which rapidly exceeds Reaper's with the same stage, but less evasive breast cancer. Well, depending on which day and what stage Frauditor Reaper is claiming. So anyways, the research is there, the videos are there. Reaper lied about inflammatory breast cancer, and watching her talk to someone actually living it is disgusting.